What if I told you that you're not really the one in charge of your own body? It may sound strange, even provocative, but the truth is that trillions of microorganisms have far more influence over your health, your mood, and even your choices than you might imagine. Here's the paradox: while we believe we're in control, it's actually them, silent and invisible, that govern vital processes. And the most unsettling part? Ignoring this hidden world can come at a high cost, but understanding it can open the door to more energy, more balance, and even more years of life. Few people realize it, but inside the body there's a real city that never sleeps. This community is made up of trillions of microorganisms living on the skin, in the gut, in the mouth, and in other hidden corners. They're not enemies, quite the opposite. They've been part of us since the very first day of life and influence how the body works. It's as if we had silent neighbors working around the clock to keep everything in order. What's most fascinating is that this invisible crew is involved in practically everything, from how the body reacts to the flu to the energy we feel after a meal. Without these helpers, the body would be vulnerable, digestion wouldn't work the same way, and even our mood would take a hit. Anyone who's noticed that difference in energy after eating something heavy can thank, or blame, this microscopic system that regulates more than we realize. And there's one detail that makes it all even more intriguing: each person's microbiome is unique, almost like a biological signature. That explains why two people can eat the exact same food and react in completely different ways. Understanding this uniqueness opens doors to seeing health from a whole new perspective, showing that taking care of these tiny residents is really about taking care of ourselves. And as soon as we start exploring how this diversity is formed, even more surprising revelations come to light. Inside the human body, there's no such thing as monotony. Microbial diversity is as rich as a natural ecosystem. In the gut, for instance, live bacteria specialized in breaking down fibers that we wouldn't be able to digest on our own. On the skin, other species act as guardians against invading microorganisms. Even the mouth, which seems like just a passageway, harbors colonies that influence everything from breath to heart health. Every corner of the body has its own microbial neighborhood. This variety doesn't just happen by chance. Diet, environment, daily habits, and even genetics shape who these microorganisms are and how they behave. A diet rich in fiber and vegetables, for example, strengthens beneficial colonies, while an excess of processed foods can lead to imbalances. It's like tending a garden: those who water and fertilize see flowers bloom, while neglect invites weeds. The body works the same way, only on a microscopic scale. What's even more interesting is that every daily choice leaves its mark on this internal ecosystem. A simple change, like swapping soda for water or adding more fruit variety to your meals, can already transform the composition of these bacteria. This shows that, even without realizing it, we are constantly writing the story of our microbiome. And the more we understand these functions, the clearer it becomes just how essential this system is to our survival. The microbiome isn't in the body just to add numbers, it plays an active role in our defenses. These bacteria act like invisible soldiers that train the immune system, helping it recognize who's a friend and who's an enemy. Without this constant education, the body could overreact even to tiny particles, which explains many modern allergies. It's as if these microorganisms were teachers in an internal school, teaching discipline to our army of defense. But it doesn't stop there. In digestion, the microbiome is responsible for turning fibers into essential nutrients, producing vitamins, and even regulating metabolism. That sense of well-being after a balanced meal has a lot to do with this silent work. On the other hand, when the diet is poor and repetitive, the system suffers, and soon signs of imbalance appear: fatigue, poor digestion, and even unexplained weight gain. Eating well isn't just about feeding the body, it's also about caring for these microscopic partners. What surprises many people is the close connection between the gut and the brain. substances produced by bacteria directly influence mood and even behavior. It's no coincidence that science calls this communication the gut-brain axis. Have you ever thought that your anxiety or lack of focus could be linked to what you eat? That's where the microbiome shows its power. It not only protects and nourishes but also speaks to the mind. And when that balance breaks, the consequences show up in diseases that go far beyond the stomach. When this invisible army is in harmony, health flourishes. But just a slight imbalance can open the door to serious problems. Science has already shown that changes in the microbiome can be linked to diabetes, obesity, autoimmune diseases, and even neurological disorders like autism. It's no exaggeration to say that, in many cases, the root of illness may be hidden where the eyes can't see, in the gut and its microscopic colonies. This imbalance even has a name: dysbiosis. It happens when beneficial bacteria lose ground and harmful ones take over. The signs range from frequent digestive discomfort to silent inflammation that can damage entire organs. It's like a city without a mayor, where chaos quickly takes control. The tricky part is that dysbiosis often develops slowly, without making noise, until the symptoms can no longer be ignored. And that's where self-awareness becomes crucial. Changes in the body, mood, and even the skin may be shouting that something in the microbiome isn't right. Taking care of this balance doesn't just mean treating symptoms, it means addressing the problem at its root. It's like reinforcing the foundation of a house so it doesn't collapse over time. And if external factors influence this process so strongly, it's worth paying attention to how lifestyle choices shape this invisible universe. The microbiome is strong, but it's also sensitive to everyday choices. Antibiotics, for example, are useful in critical situations but act like bombs that hit both harmful and beneficial bacteria. After a treatment, many people notice changes in digestion or even in their energy levels, and that's no coincidence. It's as if the microbial community had to rebuild itself from scratch, asking for patience and care to regain balance. Diet is also one of the biggest architects of this reconstruction. Probiotics, found in natural yogurt, kefir, or kombucha, help repopulate the gut with valuable allies. Prebiotics, present in foods like bananas, oats, and garlic, serve as nourishment for these bacteria to thrive. When combined, they create fertile ground where health can flourish. It's like planting seeds while also watering them, ensuring a living and productive garden. Lifestyle and even hygiene habits also play their part. Living in overly sterile environments can limit microbial diversity, while balanced contact with nature enriches this ecosystem. Walking barefoot on grass, growing plants at home, or simply varying what's on your plate are small actions that strengthen this invisible community. And the more discoveries emerge, the clearer it becomes that the microbiome can be shaped not only to prevent but also to treat disease. On this frontier, science begins to glimpse the future. Science is increasingly fascinated by the microbiome and has been moving fast to turn this knowledge into treatments. One example is fecal transplant, which may sound unusual, but has already shown impressive results in fighting resistant infections. The idea is simple: transferring healthy bacteria from one person to another, repopulating the gut much like renewing the soil of an exhausted garden. What once seemed unthinkable is now opening doors to revolutionary therapies. Another promising field is personalized medicine based on the microbiome profile. Instead of standardized treatments, medicine is moving towards seeing each patient as unique, tailoring medications and diets according to their microbial signature. It's like having a personal instruction manual for your body, revealing the most effective paths to restore health. This level of personalization could transform how we deal with chronic diseases and even prevention. And it doesn't stop there. Researchers are already investigating how to manipulate the microbiome to regulate emotions, boost cognitive performance, and even extend longevity. It may sound like science fiction, but it's happening right now in labs decoding this invisible universe. What they discover in the coming years could completely transform how we understand health and disease. And when you look at all this, one question becomes inevitable: are bacteria, and not us, the real rulers of the body? After diving into this invisible universe, the question remains: will you keep treating the microbiome as just a detail, or will you start caring for it as a priority? Every meal, every lifestyle choice, every habit you practice is silently shaping these trillions of allies working for you. And if they hold so much power over your health and even your emotions, wouldn't it be smart to take charge now? Maybe it's time to rethink small actions: what you put on your plate, how much you connect with nature, how you handle stress. Think of it this way: your body is like an orchestra, and the microbiome is the conductor. If it falls out of tune, the melody of your entire life loses rhythm. But when it's in sync, you feel an energy, clarity, and drive you never thought you had. So tell me, what are you going to change starting today to strengthen this invisible army? Share it in the comments, because your experience might inspire someone else. And of course, if you want to keep uncovering the secrets hidden inside the human body, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.